How's everyone doing? So today I've got my little princess maple, just a spring prune, as well as showing you some new trees. So first up is a European olive, I believe. I've always liked the look of olives, and I've got a miniature Mediterranean one, like a seedling, indoor one. I don't know, this is quite cheap and I like the look of it, so going to be developing that over time. And then this beauty, so I can't actually, I have trouble pronouncing the real name for this, so it's a, I don't know the name, it's a quince basically. Scarlet red one, obviously it needs a lot of cut back and work on that. And then a bit of a knockoff to Shoujo here really, or yeah, called a Benny Mako. I've never actually seen them in shops before, but I went to Perrywood's nursery, which is one of the bigger ones near me, and they usually have like quite rarer trees and nicer trees, so I picked up them for as a bit of a bonus for myself, shall we say. I've been working stupidly lately, not only at my normal job, but also been helping my brother out with some work as well, so yeah, treat myself. But anyway, moving on to my little princess. So this tree, again, I actually bought from Perrywood's last year. And first year I just kind of let it grow out. I did actually trim it back originally just to let some light in. And since then, I've never really had much luck with maples. I think that's something that has to be said. I had a Shishigashira that died randomly, don't know why. I've been through a couple of going greens, a couple of orange dreams. I actually think my little Katsura is dying currently. So I don't really know where I go wrong with them. But it's kind of kept me in the mindset of let them grow a little bit more rather than keep on trying to prune them and prune them. This is in kind of a growing pot, that's a shallow one. And for now I'm trying to really thicken up the trunk a little bit, but as well just try and get a bit of movement into some of the branches going forward. There isn't really like a proper plan with this. Just your kind of standard pruning, I suppose. So I'm just cleaning up some of the moss, so a lot of moss on this tree, and it was about to start sending out seeds, and it seeds it isn't, is it spores? It's about to start sending out spores, you know, you're getting little teardrops on the top of the moss, so just try and control that a little bit. You know, I like to try and look at my trees and start off objectively pruning, meaning that I'm going to reduce things back to, you know, if you've got two branches coming out of one, like forking, I'm going to try and get rid of that where I can. No opposite or opposing branches, no branches growing into the tree, you know, all this kind of, all the basics, right, to bonsai. There's times where you can't always do it because of buds and elongations and, you know, but I do just start objectively pruning this. I find that sometimes if you put a bit too much emotion into it, or subjectivity, you end up not pruning what you actually need to prune, and it can turn into a rather ugly tree over time. I feel like one of the biggest issues most people have with bonsai as a hobby is they don't cut back enough. They kind of almost put emotions into the tree, their own emotions, and I need to grow, and I can't clip that back, and you end up with this really elongated kind of bush-like form. I think some of that is down to laziness as well. I say laziness, I don't mean it horribly, but it's just, you know, people don't have the time to constantly be in their garden. You know, luckily I haven't got any kids, so I get all the time in the world to spend with my trees, but, well, when I'm not working. And you can see here I'm just cutting back to 1 or 2 shoots and going from there, changing directions and trying to change a bit of taper. Now I think in spring next year this will go into a growing container, a bigger one, and I'm going to try and let it root into the ground. Now I'm hoping actually to move at some point next year. I currently rent a room in a house, and although I get a portion of the garden, it's not mine, so I can't really plant anything in it. You know, I can't really take the biscuit, shall we say. But yeah, once I'm in my own place, I'll be able to have a lot more freedom and maybe even more trees, who knows. I mean, I'm kind of at the point now where I'm 1 in, 1 out, just because of the amount I've got. But you know, there's never enough, right? This kind of work here is quite important as well, just to stop the elongations and try and keep nodes relatively short. Again, this isn't in a bonsai container, and these probably won't be the branches that I'll end up with. When in bonsai soil, when in a restricted container, your nodes will be shorter and shorter. Shorter nodes just means that you can have more branches or select more branches in one area rather than a branch every couple of inches, which for scale doesn't always look great. I do find that a lot of maples look overgrown or elongated because they're such a powerful grower kind of thing. They grow so quickly. So yeah, this kind of work will also help with that. You know, I cut back now. Summertime it'll probably rest a little bit. In autumn time I should get another flush, which is likely to be shorter nodes and smaller leaves, and it's generally how people treat maples. I mean, the older maples you can get away with totally defoliating. I've tried that with many maples before and I've failed, so that's why I don't do it anymore, but you know, an older maple will probably get away with it. And there it is, all pruned up and kind of in shape, although it still doesn't look like a bonsai, right? Until next time.